Taurus. Well, the first half of the reading will be centered on love, the second half on career, to draw out some additional messages for these areas of your life. So let's jump into it first and foremost and see what's coming up in regards to love for you. Taurus. Okay, there could be a destined Aries coming in with the Sun card, and also a Scorpio that's coming up around you in regards to love. Now, I definitely feel like there's secrets or some sort of mystery around a situation that may be elevated. The Death card is Scorpio energy, and Scorpio energy can be mysterious. It can be elusive. It can be enigmatic. We might not be able to piece things together because it evades us. So there could be some mysterious things, some questions you're asking yourself, some things that you might not be able to piece together, or it could even be that secrets come out, skeletons in the closet, and you do have the Tower moment, which can cause shakeups in love. I definitely feel with that karmic energy I've mentioned in the general reading, this is going to apply in love. And the Tower card it's really deterministic of your relationship. So there might be something that, gets out of hand. It could be an argument that becomes really explosive, gets a little bit over the top here. It can be careless or self-sabotaging behavior. It can also be a lot of anger and or resentment. And I say that because we see the lightning strike, and when we see that lightning strike, we often associate it with wrath, anger, direction, chemistry, electricity, passion. So there's a lot of that sort of energy, or intensity, I should say, that might be tied into you and your connection. I want to say some of you that have something that's in its very early starts, I don't know if you've just started seeing someone or dating someone, but there might be something that turns you off them, or it could be something that you do that might turn this person off you or have them go the other way, because the Death card is major endings, but it's almost like they might leave on very mysterious terms, or you might leave and they might feel like they haven't pieced things together. It's all a very different kind of situation here. So you might be left scratching your head a little bit here, because I feel like something might not make it to the major stages. Although you had that long distance card here, not everything that pans out in your relationships or connections is going to go the distance. But there could definitely be some major breakups, but new love will come in straight after here, Taurus. There's definitely options, or there'll be people wanting to connect with you in some way, shape, or form here, okay? And I really feel like some of you definitely have the start of something very wonderful. The Sun card being new beginnings, new starts, the child symbolizing learning, development, experiencing something new. For a lot of the females watching, you've got divine masculine energy coming in. So a very powerful masculine person is coming in around you for love and connections. The Sun can also be around family and maternal or paternal people coming in around you. Fertility, talks of starting a family, conceiving children, adopting children, adding to the family, or meeting someone who has children, okay? The Queen of Cups is here, and she, for me, is the epitome of divine feminine energy. She's very compassionate and tender and caring, and I feel like she often represents a lot of love or a lot of emotions. So some of you could definitely find yourself falling in love with someone. Doesn't matter how long you've known them, doesn't matter if it's falling back in love with someone, falling out of love. There's a lot of this coming up, okay? Especially if you've been closed off to someone, I feel like someone's going to show their caring side, maybe their more vulnerable or sensitive side to you in love. And this is something you're really going to appreciate. Especially for those that have a bit of mystery around a situation, you'll find that if you do take a step back, maybe minimize communication, maybe not reveal so much, you're going to find the other person be more forward or considerate or attentive. And I guess it's the human condition. It's the way we're programmed to think. When something is scarce or not always available, not readily accessible, it breeds interest. So I wouldn't encourage mind games, but I feel like if there is a situation here where you need time to yourself, you know, that 4 could be the 4 here, and that's all about pulling away and reflecting on a situation, you will find that this other person might come to value you more. Not that they didn't value you before, but they might come to value you in a sense where she holds the Holy Grail here and she understands what she has. And unfortunately, sometimes people need to lose us to realize they love us, okay? And I think that sort of scenario or situation could apply for a lot of you. Scorpio is quite an emotional energy, so I feel like it could be quite an emotional month. Aries energy with the Sun card is it accepts a challenge, so there's definitely opposition or challenges coming up in your relationships and disagreements about things. And I feel like that could determine a lot about your partnerships, which Libra energy represents. But you have to make a decision. You're either one way or another, Taurus. I feel like, again, I do feel like there's a lot of finality and certainty with the Justice card. So I feel like you have to choose how you're either going to react in a situation or behave, or how you're going to emotionally respond to an issue, and not be back and forth about it. I think that's the major thing for you potentially this month. Let's move on, however, and have a look at your career, business, finance, creative pursuits, anything around those sorts of things. Okay, wow, you've got another ace. This is very powerful. There's definitely new starts in career or embarking on new beginnings that can bring you a lot in your life. The Wheel of Fortune can cover so many things: fame, notoriety, awareness, success, wealth, fame, passion. But I feel like money or abundance is coming in around you. The Wheel of Fortune is about things in motion as well, so completing something or starting something or having a lot of progress, a lot of successful progress, taking things one day at a time, but being able to complete at least some stage or phase or element in your career or your creative pursuits by the time the month is over. There's definitely a lot of blessings. The Ace of Cups, again, divine intervention, law of attraction is quite heightened. You might be attracting a lot of people, places, events. You might be attracting a Leo here, or you might be attracting a position of power somehow. The Queen of Wands being the Leo, there's a fierceness, there's an openness, there's a leadership quality to her. She's just naturally that way inclined. And I feel like you're attracting power, okay, in a situation, power and respect, okay? There's a lot of respect with the Queen of Wands. So these sorts of things might be coming up. You might be attracting those sorts of things here. Look, it's not going to come without challenge. You know, the lion is the Leo energy is it's combative, it's primitive, it's fierce, it's territorial. And the challenges have come up in the form of the Two of Swords and the Nine of Swords. So it's not going to be without its challenges here, Taurus. I just want to mention that. And there might be a lot of restless and sleepless nights coming up. There might be things that surprise you that you didn't see coming. I definitely feel there's an important message or messenger, middleman, or person who's going to be communicating between you and someone else or a third party. And I sort of say that because the bird has come up, the bird being the messenger. Air signs can cover Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and Gemini is seen as the messenger. So I don't know if it's coming from a Gemini, or communication is really going to be highly dependent. Excuse me, that was the wrong wording. You'll become highly dependent on communication. But I definitely feel like there might be some surprises thrown in there with the Two of Swords. There might be a decision, okay? Multiple things coming up, multiple ideas, jobs that are conflict of interest, starting 2 jobs or a second income stream. But be careful not to overwhelm yourself. That Nine of Swords is here. Yes, it can bring you a lot more money. But you know, because a Wheel of Fortune can also symbolize a clock or time, I wonder if this is the right time for you to be starting those things. And look, you've got 3 aces here. 2 aces in the general. There's a lot you want to start, but you need to ask yourself if you have the resources, the time, the energy, the focus, the motivation, the drive to be able to juggle all these things at the one time, Taurus. I'm not saying you can't do it. You absolutely can. But you need to decide, you know, you need to make sure, back to those scales here, that there is an equal balance in what it is that you're doing. And look, if anyone's like sort of selling property or you're dealing with a client, there could be a lot of back and forth between this person. It could be that this person is ill-informed, or this person is dual or indecisive, and in fact can't come up with a resolution or an offer or an answer. So the Queen of Wands takes the initiative. You might have to take a lot of initiative in a working situation here, and you might have to make decisions for people, for your team, even for your managers. I feel like you're going to have to take the lead on this, okay? You know, as pushy as you might come across, whatever it is that's bothering you or that you need an answer to, I feel like you're just going to have to be bold and come out with it. And eventually things will flow again, okay? You'll see that even flow happening, that outpour of money, of attention, of correspondence, whatever it is that you're waiting on. You'll end up seeing that or seeing evidence of that. So it's interesting. I feel like you've got an interesting month ahead. And I feel like, as I said, it's going to determine a lot in your career. Again, try to be in the moment as much as you can, I suppose, but know that destiny is at play, and bigger and better things are definitely coming to you. All that positive karmic energy that you've worked so hard for is definitely coming up as physical gains for you. So that's very, very exciting. I will leave your reading at that though, Taurus. Thank you again for tuning in.